In 1928, the Sisters of St. Joseph founded the College of Our Lady of the Elms, a 4-year liberal arts institution focused on educating Catholic young women. Today, as we approach the 100-year anniversary of our institution, we can reflect on how over the years the college has adapted and changed to more fully embrace a world full of vibrant and diverse cultures. Elms College was founded in the 1920s. Women were beginning to face new roles and responsibilities in their public and private lives. Increasingly, it was a time when women were encouraged to get more involved in their communities, gain education, and sometimes advance their careers. Here in Western Massachusetts, the Catholic community was becoming larger and more prominent.
Elms College at its founding was for immigrant women because there was not access to a Catholic education for women at the time in Western Massachusetts. This area was known for its immigration of Irish and Italian, French, and Polish, and oftentimes there wasn't access to an affordable education. And so the sisters decided that they would start a college where they could educate women.
From the 19th century onward, the Pioneer Valley received waves of immigrants from Ireland, Poland, and French-speaking Canada, among many other places. For Catholic immigrants who wanted their daughters to succeed and thrive in America, it was important for them to have access to women's higher education. But as the Diocese of Springfield made clear, it was also essential that education should be rooted in faith. With this in mind, Elms College was founded. Other local colleges proposed that the purpose of education was to enable graduates to grow financially and make a living. But from the moment Elms College opened, it made it clear, as the earliest college catalog stated, that the Elms graduates receive a broad liberal arts education that was designed to educate students for life and living. The founders of our college believed that a woman's education could not be measured by whether or not it provided financial abundance, but rather by whether it encouraged a student's growth within her whole nature, intellect, and character. As such, the college's founders envisioned the quintessential graduate of the College of Our Lady Elms as one who would demonstrate the deeper qualities of life rooted in the Catholic faith, while shunning the materialism of modern culture. With this approach, Elms College sought to offer an education that would allow young women to make a strong impact on the world, in home and in workplace, in whatever field they choose to pursue. The earliest literature about the college referred to this model Elms graduate as the Elms girl. This term was our Catholic version of the New Woman image that was common throughout the female Ivy League of the Seven Sisters institution of the Northeast. Like the archetypal Vasco girl, the Elms girl was intended to blend the image of sophistication on one hand with the exception of Catholic wholesomeness on the other. They held a strong reputation that was well respected in the world around them.
I thought it was wonderful. If you stepped off campus and you interviewed for a job or had a summer job, there was like a profile, respectable, educated, focused academic students. There was just a certain way that, you were respected in the community, and that kind of made you sit up posture and want to do well, whether it was in the classroom or outside. It was wonderful.
This is how the Springfield Diocesan newspaper, The Catholic Mirror, described the Elms girls in the year of the college's founding, 1928. The Elms girl is a Catholic lady of culture, of strong, irreproachable character, of charming dignity and demeanor, well-trained in mind and speech, a graduate conversant with literature and history, music and art, with the finished ability to discuss current problems, religious, social, moral, in the light of established Catholic standards. Such depictions, in some senses, do not age well, but in other ways, the foundational underlying philosophy that is reflected here is as true today as it was a century ago. When the Sisters of St. Joseph founded Elms College, they intended to offer an affordable education to a largely immigrant or second-generation American population that often did not have access to higher education. And while the imagery of the Elms girl to modern viewers might seem rather highfalutin and grandiose, bear in mind that what the sisters were offering was an opportunity for people of humble means and backgrounds to aspire to better things, ethical leadership, community-based responsibility, and confident professionalism. And Elms girl was involved in a community that lifted them in every aspect of their lives, educational and personal.
I was an Elms girl. And I still am an Elms girl. I will be an Elms girl till the day I die. I loved my experience here, being surrounded by people who cared for you and nurtured you in every aspect of your personality and your professional endeavors.
Their well-rounded education would allow them to make a strong impact on the world, which in whatever field they chose to pursue, including many of which who have come back to work for Elms as alumni.
For those who know the advancement office, there are several of us who are alumni who work very closely together, and we still call each other Elms girls. And when something clicks the right way, it's like, oh, we did that right because we're Elms girls. I will be an Elms girl until the day I die.
A century after its founding, Elms College has experienced major changes in its demographics, but its values remain the same as they were in 1928. The college's website makes this clear. Solidly grounded in the Judeo-Christian tradition, our many efforts to embody our Catholic identity are characterized by a rigorous defense of human rights and the inherent dignity of a person. At Elms College, the life and the ministry of Jesus inform all that we do to create an atmosphere that engages the entire college community in the moral and ethical challenges of today. These values directly align with the founders' original vision of an Elms girl. But how would those founders react if they discovered that it is no longer just an Elms girl, but a community of students of various genders, races, ethnicities, sexualities, and religions? In 1998, Elms College admitted its first class of male students. This was a monumental change that initially wasn't welcomed by all its female students.
In 1997, when we moved to co-ed, I remember looking out my office window. There were, we could call them gatherings, we could call them protests, we could call them any number of different things, but there were lots of voices, there were lots of petitions, there were lots of things happening at that point in time.
This decision ended up being essential for the growth and success of the college, evident through the connections that the students began to form with one another.
When we were first admitted here, there were actually protests on campus. Female students with placards who did not want us coming here. They became our best friends. Like, we were actually hanging out with these women in their rooms when we shouldn't have been. Yeah, they weren't welcoming at first, but they turned out to be our biggest champions in the end.
In the following 3 decades, the college has witnessed a consistent gradual increase in the number of male students. Now, both women and men carry forth Elms' core values in the sisters' mission of united neighbor with neighbor and neighbor with God, without distinction. The students work together to create a combined community of brotherhood and sisterhood, truly embracing the college's core values.
They slowly became part of the campus. They were involved in a lot of the activities that we had on campus, but they were respectful of the women who were here who already had the leadership positions, in the groups, and they slowly assumed more leadership positions.
As of 2023, the college had its highest percentage of male enrollment yet, at 27% of the total student population. The changes didn't end when Elms went co-ed. When Elms College was founded, it primarily served immigrant populations in the Springfield area, mostly of Polish, Irish, and French Canadian descent. Since the late 20th century, however, this demographic has shifted. Hispanic, specifically Puerto Rican communities have surged in Western Massachusetts, and now these are the population seeking opportunity through education. Similarly, the Springfield area has had a steadily increasing African American population, which is similarly reflected in changes to the Elms student body.
Well, when I started, virtually every student was a white woman. If you looked at how that changed over time, we slowly became more diverse, and in the last maybe 10 years have become even more diverse as the community we serve has become more diverse, as the number of Hispanics or Latinx individuals increased or other groups increased, our student population.
In 1990, out of the 410 students enrolled at Elms College, 91% of them identified as white. This change became evident through demographic shift of the college. In the following 2 decades, the percentage of white students would continue to decrease, increasing the percentage of minority students on campus.
Back in 2006, when I would have been a high school senior, it was 15% minority students among our undergraduates, and to date we're up to over 40%.
In 2023, the college's census indicated that 52% of the students identified as white. This is the highest percentage of minority students in the college's history, and the record shown a pattern that predicts even more growth, as students are more likely to attend schools with increased diversity.
One of the big reasons that I chose to come to Elms is because it felt like home. And I imagine that for a lot of the students, starting to see reflections of themselves in the student body and feeling some level of comfort is what drew them here.
One of the biggest ways that a student can see diversity in a school is through its faculty. If a college does not have diverse leaders and educators, how can a student fully trust that it is a diverse and inclusive place for them to go to school?
We didn't have a lot of diverse professors, people of different cultures and backgrounds, and I think when you recruit people, you tend to draw people that look like you. I think it has to start, at a level where people can see that there's diversity on this campus, so people didn't see it, so they weren't drawn to it.
A major change representing the growth of diversity in Elms College is the 2017 inauguration of Dr. Harry Dumais, the college's first African-American president. Elms College would not be able to fully grow as a diverse institution if our faculty were not properly reflecting our student population. Dr. Dumais brought a wealth of experience with him to Elms College, having held senior administrative roles at Catholic colleges across New England, including St. Anselm, Harvard University, and Boston College. But additionally, Dr. Dumais' presidency marks a transition for Elms College. His installation as the college's 11th president demonstrated that changes in the Elms student body would be mirrored in the administrative leadership. President Harry Dumais embodies what it means to celebrate our past while embracing our future. Inclusivity is supported in many forms across the college's campus. On the college's campus ministry website, it states, "Campus ministry creates a space for all without regard of race, religion, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Campus ministry has made it clear that everyone is accepted, no matter if they're Catholic or not." This aligns with the Sister of St. Joseph's values of uniting neighbor with neighbor without distinction.
So we welcomed women, we welcomed other people of religious backgrounds, then we welcomed men. And uniting neighbor and neighbor is, without distinction, is about serving one another. We help, we offer our assistance.
As a Catholic institution, Elms College has a mission to continue to exhibit its founders' values in a way that is inclusive and supportive for all. This allows students to learn from the differences of their peers, contributing to the quality education that Elms has been known for since its founding days.
Celebrating difference is really a human thing. We all want to be inclusive of people. We all want to get to know people. But if we stay with the same group of people, we'll never learn anything new or different, right? We won't understand how they got here, what was their story. You can't learn difference if you don't have it.
One of these is the Multicultural Scholars Collective, which hosts several organizations, including the Men of Color Association, Women of Color Association, Latinx United, and True Colors. These groups provide safe spaces for students of different backgrounds, ethnicities, races, and sexualities. Their goal is to be a resource that inspires students to express themselves and create a community on campus where they feel seen and heard. These groups are crucial to Elms College's ongoing efforts to become a diverse and inclusive community where students feel comfortable and safe. In addition, the Office of Diversity and Leadership is a resource for students that promotes intersectionality. Students are encouraged to discover their identities and find what makes them feel like their true selves. Elms College is an institution that promotes compassion, honesty, and empathy for its diverse student body. With these traits, students will graduate to become impactful members of society who lead a life of dignity and respect. Though the college no longer just educates Elms girls, it has become so much more than that. Elms College is a diverse community of students, each with different experiences and backgrounds. This creates so many opportunities for students to grow and learn more about each other and the world around them, embracing the values that the Sisters of St. Joseph had in mind.
We're a much more diverse population now than we were. We had different ethnicities back in our original founding, and now what we have is many races and ethnicities and religion on our campus, which has broadened our perspective and educated all of us as we hope that we educate our students.